guys, it's Fiona and welcome back to the channel. Today I am here with what is quite possibly my biggest book haul ever. This is 2 months worth of books, most of December and most of January, bar like maybe a week and a half overall. So there's quite a lot of books to get through. Let's not faff around and let's get straight into the books. I'm going to start with manga because there's quite a big set of manga I need to get out of the way first. So most of you will already be well aware I am leaving bookselling within a matter of days of recording of this video. I only have a couple of shifts left, so I have been purchasing quite a lot of manga because I won't find it this cheap anywhere else. Staff discount means that I get it pretty cheap at the moment, so I treated myself to a series I've been intending to read for a while. Yes, this is the entirety of Haikyuu released so far as of the 22nd of January. There is another volume due in February, and there are quite a few volumes of things due in February, so I decided to buy the entire set so far. Those of you who have followed the channel for a little while know that I am a massive fan of the Haikyuu anime, and apparently it follows the manga pretty closely, but I want to read the manga anyway, so I thought I would just invest and purchase the lot while I still had the chance. It is still ongoing, and I will probably regularly buy the volumes when they come out, but we'll see what happens with reading them. I'll probably read them over like a weekend or something, and then I'll do a video all about that. I may even do a reading vlog for when I read them. That would be cool. Let me know if that's something that you would like. The next manga I have to show you is Love and Lies Volume 2. I have read this one, and Volume 3 is due out very shortly, if not already. I think I fell behind. Pretty sure I have ordered it this week and it might come before I leave, so that would be awesome if it did. I also picked up Volume 7 of Everyone's Getting Married, which I think is the last volume, maybe? I don't know. It could be the last volume. Having had a look online, it seems to be. So we will see. If it is, then expect some kind of review about them very soon. The next book is a book that only publishes like twice a year. It's such a long wait. And that is Arina Tanimura's Idle Dreams. This is volume 4. I absolutely love Arina Tanimura's work and have read pretty much everything she's ever made. So I'm collecting this regardless of the fact that it takes forever to come out over here. It's got an interesting direction. It feels very much like Full Moon, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably going to sit down and read the 4 that are out so far back to back because it feels like forever since I read the first one. I also picked up the first volume in a brand new series this month, and that is Astra Lost in Space. I really like the character designs on the front of this, and it was set in space, so of course I was going to look into it and go, oh yeah, I like this a lot. I don't know the author and artist at all. I don't know if they did any other works. This is the first I've come across them. I think this is their first thing, but it sounds really interesting. It's all set in space, about spaceships and mechs and stuff, and I'm very much looking forward to reading this, and I hope it's as good as it looks. Next I have volume 5 of Anonymous Noise. I have been really enjoying this series. Again, I think there's a new volume due out in February. I've fallen a little bit behind with bits and pieces, so I'm going to try and play catch up before all this new stuff comes out. This is a music-based manga, and I'm really into music-based books and manga, but I'm not that big into music itself. It's very weird. So I really enjoy this series. And then I have volume 2 of the Your Name manga adaptation. I have still yet to watch Your Name, but hopefully in February I will sit down and watch it. But the cover art for these volumes is just so gorgeous, and the inside art is really like striking and clear, so I'm very excited to read this. I still haven't read the first one, and I do also have the light novel version of Your Name as well, so maybe I need to sit down and watch and read Your Name, maybe. I then have volume 10 of My Hero Academia. This is one of my favorite animes, and I still have not read any of the manga because I don't want to get ahead of where the anime is. I'm scared of spoiling the anime for myself because I'm enjoying it so much, and it's something I watch with my husband, so I don't want to ruin it for either of us. So I haven't started reading them yet, but I probably will do very soon. Next is a manga that changed names midway through. You will have heard me mention this. This was the QQ Sweeper series, which sort of stopped and then started again with a new series called Queen's Quality. This is volume 2. I love this artist and their stories. They wrote Dengeki Daisy, which looks like it's getting a re-release. We then have 2 volumes in the same series, and that is 3 and 4 of Waiting for Spring. I have read volume 3. I've only recently got volume 4, so I have not read that yet. I love this series so very much. And then we have volume 24 of Nisekoi. Volume 5 of this was supposed to be coming out on the 25th of January. I was like, I'll be able to get this before I leave the business. No, it's been pushed back to the 8th of February and I am devastated because I need this book so much. I need this last book. I need to know what happens. And again, I will probably make a video all about Nisekoi when I am done with the manga. I don't think I'll watch the anime. I didn't enjoy the episode I have seen, which is really weird, I know, but sometimes that's just the way, isn't it? Volume 9 of Horimiya is the next book I have here. I have read volume 9. Volume 10 is due sometime in the future. I honestly wasn't sure when this series would end. Like, I have no idea how many volumes Horimiya is. But it's so good, so funny, and I love it so very much. And of course, I saved this volume of manga till last, and that is the Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Arc volumes that are now out in the UK and America. I am loving life and this series so very much. This is what 11-year-old me wanted, was more Cardcaptor Sakura, and I am delighted. Although £10 for a manga this thin is a lot of money. Like, it actually says £10.99 on the back there, which it wasn't. Volume 1 is actually £9.99. Volume 2 is going to be £10.99, which is extortionate. Like, Horimiya is £6.99. I mean, I know this is Clamp and this is Cardcaptor Sakura, but like, I know it's Kodansha comics generally seem to be more expensive. And I'm just like, no, that's not okay. Regardless, I am very happy with this existing. That is all the manga I purchased and I will do some serious reading of in the next few weeks and get back to you all on what I think of those. I'm briefly going to talk about a book that was bought for me. My husband bought me a book for Christmas because he's very good like that and he knew exactly what it was I wanted. And I didn't realise he'd remembered, so kudos to him. He bought me the first volume of Wires and Nerve, which I have been looking for everywhere, but does not have any UK publisher or a UK distributor officially by the looks of it. He actually got this from Wordery. He bought me volume 1 and he ordered me volume 2 as my Christmas present, and I was delighted. I have read this one and I have loved it. I am going to reread it and then read the second one when I have it, which will be in the next couple of weeks. And I will probably do a video all about them because they are awesome, or at least this one I have read so far is awesome. Next, I am going to talk about some books I bought for myself. The first book I'm going to talk about that I bought is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition of Jim Kay's illustrations. And you're probably wondering why I'm only just buying this now. It's signed by Jim Kay! So a little while ago, Jim Kay came to the Manchester Deansgate Waterstones for an event. Alas, I could not attend, but I have a signed copy here that for the time being I will keep, but I may give away in the future. But I want to have a chance to actually look at Jim Kay's illustrations first because I think his illustrations are amazing. And I've even made a space for it already on the bookcase. I then bought Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, mainly because Kimmy told me I had to buy it before I left my job. So I bought it and I'm expecting very, very good things, and I'll be very disappointed if it does not deliver. So we shall see how I get on with that. I'm sure I will talk about that at some point soon. I then bought Marie Lu's Batman, which if you've seen my 2018 releases video, you know I did mention, but I was like, I'm already reading. I'm still reading it because I'm not really reading still, which is really bad considering the amount of books I have. I have just done a massive clear out though, like massive. I've got bags and bags of books to get rid of, and I've just sold a whole bunch of books as well. So yeah, I'm trying to reduce the amount of books I have, and I'm sure the next year will help not being a bookseller. I'm currently reading Batman. I'm kind of enjoying it, but I was expecting more Batman, less Bruce Wayne, if that makes sense. But I'm only like 70-80 pages in, so we will see what happens in the rest of the book, which is obviously not here. It's in my bag. Then I got some requested books and a book from an event, so I'll go through those. Kimmy and I decided we liked the sound of these books, so she sent some emails, contacted some people, and they sent us some books, and we're very appreciative of it. So the first one is Nixia, which I loved the sound of, and it's blurbed by Marie Lou, so I was immediately like, this sounds great. And it's got a really high, like, average review on Goodreads, like really high, and I was like, this is a well-rated space YA. I need this in my life. And then I told Kimmy, and she said she needed it in her life too. Thank you very much to Penguin for supplying us with these. I believe there is a sequel either out or coming out, I don't know. But this is a beautiful book, and I'm very excited to get to it because space, and I love space books, and space makes me happy. The other book we did a very similar thing with, where we went, this looks cool, this sounds great, let's ask so-and-so if they've got any spares. And they did. So this is from Fever, and this is A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds and illustrated by Chris Priestley. This is blurred by Angie Thomas, and from what Kimmy was saying, it sounds very much like it might be similar in sort of tone to Angie Thomas as well. So we're very excited to read this. I'm sure these books will be mentioned a lot on the podcast as well, which don't forget, we have a podcast, it's linked down below. If you want someone to chatter books in your ear, hit us up. That's where we're at. But I'm very excited to give this a try, and this cover is really quite creepy but beautiful. You kind of can't look away from it. It's really weird, but I really like it. The last book I requested, Kimmy actually sent me a picture going, I thought of you when I saw this book on a list that we were looking at, because we're putting together a podcast list of books we're looking forward to, and this was one of them, and it is Spare and Found Parts by Sarah Maria Griffin. This was blurbed by Victoria Schwab and sounds like mechs and magic and darkness, and it sounded like my kind of book, so I sent in a request to Titan, who are very kind and have sent me quite a lot of books, mostly Victoria Schwab books. So yes, a big thank you to Titan for sending me this. And lastly is a book from a recent event I went to. Headline did a sort of New Voices, they referred to it, tour. They went up and down the country with some authors, and they stopped in Manchester. I originally wasn't going to go, and then Katie and Kimmy twisted my arm into going. I wasn't feeling great, so I didn't stay super long, and I had work the next day. But I did stick around for a little while, and I did pick up The Wolf by Leo Carew. Sorry, really bad at pronouncing names, my bad. Which sounds like a Scandinavian inspired Game of Thrones type book. I'm probably going to try and read it, but I think it's more my husband's cup of tea, which is kind of the reason I only picked this one up, because I thought one of us would probably read it. The other ones were like crime fiction and stuff like that, which I'm not really into, so I didn't want to pick up more books than I thought I would read. So I thought I'd be good and just pick up the one that looked most interesting to me. Thank you to Headline for letting me attend, and thanks to Katie and Kimmy for dragging me along. And lastly, I have a whole bunch of books that I received unsolicited at work. This section of the video, like in future book hauls, will probably be very, 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 very small, in fact probably non-existent, because most of my review books come from work, and I will no longer be receiving those books unless Kimmy intercepts them before my boss does. But eventually my name will disappear from the list. Yeah, hopefully I will get less books over the next few months and actually read some stuff that I have, although these are all read, like over here is not read. So first off, I have a paperback version of The Taste of Blue Light by Lydia Ruffles. I do have a proof of this already, a large format paperback proof, which didn't really like captivate me, but this cover is so pretty. So depending on me reading the book, whether I read it in this format or the other one, this might get given away, it might not, I'm undecided, we shall see. I also got 1,000 Perfect Notes by C.G. Drews. This is a thriller-esque kind of YA novel. It says on the back, passion, obsession, hope, an explosive YA debut. I actually got sent 2 copies of this, so I will be giving one away on the podcast with Kimmy, because she also received this book, so I'm sure we will talk about it and then give a spare copy away at some point. I then received a copy of Deception, which is the sequel to Contagion by Terry Terry. Y'all know I love Terry Terry's books, even though I still haven't read Contagion yet. I know, I'm real bad. Promise I'll get to it soon. I actually got sent a copy of Contagion and Deception together, so I've given that copy of Contagion away, but then I actually got sent 2 more copies of Contagion and Deception. So we will be giving away a set of Contagion and Deception on the podcast. So we've got quite a few things to give away. We're very excited to be able to give stuff away. So thanks to Orchard for accidentally sending me too many books. I love Terry Terry's work and I have a little bit of catching up to do with her books, but I hope to get to that very, very soon. This is Clean by Juno Dawson. We had an extra copy sent to work, which nobody wanted. In fact, I think it might have my name on it again, because for some reason I seem to be on multiple lists multiple times. It's very strange. So we do have a copy of Clean we will be giving away at some point on the podcast. Again, probably when we talk about this book. So yes, very excited. This is like one of the biggest YAs this year, I imagine, for the UK YA scene. And lots of people have already been asking me for my proof. Someone has asked me to give it to them when I'm done with it, and I was like, well, what if I want to give it to someone that I know that reads books? Why should I give it to a random person I've never spoken to before in my life? That's weird. But if you want to see my thoughts on that kind of stuff, I did do a Twitter thread about books for trade generally, which, getting slightly off topic, books for trade itself isn't a bad thing. It's people who abuse that and just message someone saying, can I have that book? And it's like, I put a picture of this book online. I have not said at any point it is for trade yet, or for at any point for trade, you know? So anyway, I've written a thread about that on Twitter you can find. If I find it, I will link it down below. Regardless, I am excited. I also got sent The Bells by Donnell Clayton. I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. This is a very hyped up book. It is due out pretty soon. Again, blurred by Marie Lu and Roxane Gay and Holly Black and Cami Garcia and a lot of big YA names. So this is going to be very, very big and hopefully very, very good. And my camera keeps picking up the face. It's like trying to focus on her face and not mine. I then received this book from Orion, which is The Astonishing Colour of After by Emily XR Pan. This is actually blurbed by John Green on the back, so he says it's a very special book. This is due out in March. I don't know much else about it except the cover is beautiful. Like, it's so pretty. It's probably totally screwing with my white balance, but it's so gorgeous. I'm pretty sure Tom Pollock has written fantasy books, and this is his first YA thriller. It's his first YA book regardless. I know he's written a book at least before, but so far I've seen nothing but amazing things about this book. Some of these UK YA bloggers I follow have been raving about it, and it's one of Walker's bigger titles this year, so I'm very excited to get to this. This isn't due out till June, so hopefully I might actually get to it before it comes out. Imagine a world! Imagine. And that's it. That is all I have to share with you today. Mostly a lot of manga because I'll probably spend a few weeks just blitzing through some manga and having some manga related content, and then after that we will probably have some more general life content. I'm going to a wedding at the end of February, and hopefully I will go out and take some videos in places and things, and like I said, hopefully do some reading vlogs, and we will see where the channel goes from there. I'm very excited to make some more creative content, and hopefully it all goes well. Oh, and I'll also make a video at some point about some of the studies I'm gonna do, because I'm doing some online studying, so we'll make a video after I've done some of that to talk about how I'm getting on. I hope you guys enjoy this video and like the sound of some of the other video ideas I'm randomly spewing at you, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! And it fits. Yay! Oh no. The sticker has taken off somehow. Oh well.